Hey guys, I'm Ben with Myers Woodshop.
And I'm Cody with Organic Woodwork.
And today we're going to talk about how we went to WorkbenchCon and kind of give our opinion about it and see, hopefully you can decipher if it's a place for you to go or not next year.
Yeah.
So I'm not a full-time content creator or woodworker, so I'm going to give my aspect of that.
And then I will just kind of give my opinion on if a full-time studio production shop should go or not.
So this conference is more geared toward the social aspect of this kind of stuff. It is not, you're not going to learn how to be a better woodworker.
No.
If you're going for that, you got zero out of that, right?
Yeah, well...
very little.
Very little.
Yeah.
I think for me, just having a production shop, you know, we live in an age of social media, so we do have to think about that.
Absolutely.
You know, it's great if you can be the best woodworker in the world, but if no one knows you exist or your content's not out there for them to see, then you're not doing yourself any favors. And there's just a lot to really, I don't know, it just really opened my eyes on things that I need to start implementing and doing.
So I have 27,000 followers and a pretty good YouTube channel, so I'm coming at it as kind of more seasoned. Cody just started basically all of that. You have maybe 3,000
is social
followers.
media?
3,000 is still a good amount to somebody who is literally just starting.
Yeah.
But we kind of are going to give our aspects of like, I have something a little bit more built up and Cody is kind of fresher going towards this.
Green.
So let's start out at price. I don't remember what the tickets are. They start out, the earlier you get them, the cheaper they are, and then they progressively get more expensive. This is our first time going. This is my first time going to anything like this.
Yeah.
This is the third one they've had. So for me, I think I bought it when it first came out, it was maybe $400.
Yeah, and then I'd waited a little bit, and it only went up like $100 or something like that.
$100 is still a lot of money to me. I'm not a production shop, so
Organic paid for it.
But yeah, that's like you waited for taxes or something.
Yeah, so there was
reason,
like
right?
so there's tax implications that you have to work out with your CPA to make sure that it qualifies or whatever, and so
right.
Like
so I don't have a CPA and I'm not a business, so I don't have to worry about that. So
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I don't need to go to jail.
So first off, is the $400 or $500 you've spent to go to this thing, is it worth it? Then you have to factor in your flight or your drive. This was done in Atlanta.
Yeah.
We're in Arkansas. We're 8 hours away. The two of us driving, we kind of split the drive cost.
Yeah, it was fairly easy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was a simple.
Yeah. Well,
commute there is.
We had like one
straightforward.
major city to drive through. So, but if you're paying for a flight, a plane ticket, you could be up to $400, $500 from wherever you're coming. We've met a guy.
More. Brandon from the Huma Woodworking, he's out of Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, but he used his points for something like
Right.
this.
So if you have points, maybe it's worth it. Another guy from the Netherlands flew in from the Netherlands, and I can't imagine.
The practical engineer.
Practical engineer.
Yeah.
If you've seen the Oreos dispenser on the wall in a shop, he's the guy. So yeah, so that's all relative to where you are. For us, I don't know, maybe $100 in gas.
Yeah.
150. Well, I guess coming back, $100 one way. So that wasn't too bad. And then the hotel. So I didn't pay for that. I paid you back for that.
Yeah, we split it.
You put it on your business thing, so you get it, and I don't count for that. So
I don't know. The hotel. I don't know. I have my thoughts on that.
Well, tell your thoughts.
Well, so there was definitely talking to Brandon from Huma. He stayed in another hotel, not the one that the conference was in.
The conference reserved a block of
and that was we even got like a discounted rate or something.
But the hotel was actually attached to the conference center, so you never went outside to get to the conference center. So that was really convenient.
Yes.
And it maybe took like 3 minutes to walk there, but I thought the hotel was okay. I mean not counting cost, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, the hotel was nice. It was just, and another good thing about the hotel is everyone was pretty much in the lobby the entire time.
Yeah, if you were at the conference and the conference was over, they had like a bar and the lobby was really big. So pretty much everyone migrated to there, and it just kept going. And you don't have to go to Workbench Con to actually go to any of that meetups. Like if you live in Atlanta, you're really fortunate. I would literally just skip the Workbench Con and just go to the meetups at the end of the day. So
sadly, yeah.
sadly,
I think I would
yes.
say the same.
So that's kind of where we are. Let's talk about food. I was under the impression we were getting dinner every night provided. That was not the case. I didn't read that very well, but they did provide breakfast and lunch.
Yes.
If you don't eat fruit like me, you're very hungry by the end of the day because there is no meat. Like there was very little meat.
Yeah.
But the food was a joke to me. It's terrible.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've ever really been to a conference where the food was great.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't call it was more like a snack for every meal.
That's true.
And then
It
in the
wasn't like-
middle of everything, there was no snack.
It wasn't a meal. The one thing I didn't like is like your during the meal times, they also had people on stage speaking, but the audio was so horrible. I couldn't hear what was being said or what was going on. I think Ethan from I can't think of his channel. The Build with Ethan. Yeah, okay, that's his channel.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I really liked that guy we were talking, and I was trying to really hear what he was saying, and I just couldn't hear it. Same with Jimmy DeResta. He had a whole segment, and I was staring at him.
More people heard him because I think he carries some clout where like everybody kind of quiets in the room. But
Yeah.
I would think the same would be for like Bob from I Like to Make Stuff. He was day 2 during that time, and no one listened because you couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
So that kind of was a bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you go into this one, when you check in, you go into this one big room, it's huge. And I don't know how they could get the audio better. It's too big of a room and it reverberated out everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a bummer, but there's just the vendors were all around the outsides of that, and then they had big tables in the center and kind of like a stage.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how the room was like. They do offer classes. So this is kind of like the meat and potatoes of going there and is this worth it? I went in there, or I came away from like, did I make my money back that I had invested? Because it's a big investment.
Yeah, you and that was kind of how I did it too. Again, the classes was a selling point for me because when I think of ROI, I think, well, what can I learn and bring back that will gain an investment from that? And so for me, going to these classes, I didn't really know what to expect, but besides 1 or 2 that I actually went to and really learned anything from, they were not. I could have done without them.
So
let's just say that. I don't want to badmouth anything.
Right. I would say just because you're a big YouTuber doesn't mean you're good at anything else.
Yeah.
Maybe like you're not a teacher. But I don't know, like if you
here's the thing, I don't want to discourage anyone from teaching anyone else something else.
Right.
But at the same time, if they ask you, hey, will you do a class? Kind of, I don't know, self-evaluate and know your strengths and weaknesses. And if you can't, don't. That's just me. Like if they were to ask me, can you do a class? And depending on what the class is, you know, if they were like going to be like, hey, can you do a class? I don't care what my following is on social media. On social media, I would be like, I am not the person you want to have do a class on.
I feel like there's a big disconnect between those who are new and small following or just new to the social scene of making, and those who are literally the top of the top. YouTubers have been around forever, have many homes, who actually have employees doing their videos and stuff like that. Those are the kind of people who are doing the classes. They don't correlate to like, how do you make your first buck on social media?
Or like, I don't know, I think even like an even simpler class than that, which is, you know, something that we're already set up for, but like, I feel like there's a lot of people with low numbers that didn't, but how to be affiliate for
just
Amazon.
There's a lot of things that there seems to be a gap of missing information.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of in the middle ground there where I'm making a decent amount of money. So I learned a few things from the people. I'm not hiring anybody to do this video edit. I'm gonna do it and I hate it and I'll do it till the day I die. But you know, like there's a gap there where I took away a few things, but if you're just coming into it, there's gonna be, you're basically watching a celebrity tell you about how they are making it, which doesn't really help you so much. Celebrity to me. It doesn't really help you so much if you're, you got 100 followers and you're trying to make $2 on an affiliate link. So that's kind of the classes. I walked out of one. I walked out of Donnie's because I'm not a production shop. I'm not making furniture.
That was the class that
that was the class.
I thought was the best one.
It's hard to judge
because I'm a production shop.
For sure.
He's making furniture.
It's also hard to judge on like just the title of a class. So a lot of times they just give the title and you're like, oh, I like this guy. This sounds like maybe it correlates, and it absolutely didn't. So, and you walked out of 2 classes that I stayed in.
Yeah.
So
I can't even remember what the classes were.
But one I really liked was Bob Clagett's Fusion 360. You did not come with me, but that applies to me a lot. I'm doing 3D printing and CNC stuff, modeling stuff. I really want to learn it, so it applied to me. I wish that class was like a full weekend class.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And see, I don't know. I think Donnie's class, but then again, I'm a business. He's a business.
Right.
So like there was a lot of things that I learned from him, and even in his social media and how he implements hashtags and things like that. Like, that was kind of something.
So you will come away with a little bit of knowledge, but not the amount of knowledge that I think I was expecting to really retain.
Yeah, same.
That applied to me.
Yeah, when I read the class list, I was like, oh yeah, those are going to be pretty stellar. And then I walked away going, if anything, I got to meet a lot of cool people and network, and I think that was honestly that's kind of invaluable. I don't really know how you judge that on ROI, but I did walk away with a lot more relationships and just knowing really cool people.
That's the number one thing you're going to come away with.
And I would say if you're going, just know if you're going to Workbench Con, that is the reason you're going.
Absolutely, straight up, you're going to meet other people and see the other people behind the phone.
Yeah,
for sure. And I've made long-lasting friendships from that. 100%. Some guys we've never met before, and some people I've had a conversation with for years. So if you're going for the social aspect, awesome.
Yes.
Kind of sucks that you have to pay $1,000 or more to like actually hang out with these people. It may be cheaper to just fly to all these people's shops and hang out.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
But it's an experience that you won't get anywhere else. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
And the cool kind of thing about it is, especially where you don't know anybody, like one night we just randomly had 2 guys come with us to eat, kind of a group of guys. Yeah. And one of them turned out to be an Olympian, an Olympic volleyball player, and the other guy was the guy with the Oreo dispenser. I had no idea who he was, and he ended up having 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So it kind of like the playing field gets a little leveled.
Yeah,
which was really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And,
There is a little bit of high schoolish. That's kind of how I felt. A little bit of a high schooly clique thing, kind of maybe in the beginning. That's how I felt. I knew a lot of these people and I followed a lot of people. You didn't.
I didn't know anybody.
Yeah, everybody was new. So I think it's just like you're showing up to everybody fresh.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of that for me. It kind of died off as it went on. And of course, I get out what I put into it, and I'm kind of like in person. I feel like I'm not.
You're a social butterfly.
But I'm not the guy that's going to go up and say hi first. I'm always going to be the guy that reciprocates hi.
And I'm opposite.
Yeah.
Like nobody knew who I was, and I didn't know anybody else. And so instead of just being like standing behind this guy going, "Hey, how you doing?" No, you have to break off. And I met some really cool people. Shelby Hahn from Shelby Hahn Turns.
Yeah.
Super cool dude.
Yeah.
Tyson.
Right.
Tyson Moore. And actually, they foster as well, and we got a chance to pray together, and I thought that was really cool.
Amazing.
Like I thought that was really cool.
It's fantastic.
So you just never know the people you're going to meet.
That also tells you something, like you never know who you're talking to, so don't discount this person because they have 5 followers or something like that. That means nothing. It really means nothing.
Yeah, I have 3,000 followers, and that was like everybody there had 50,000 to 100,000 followers or something.
That's
like
just
that.
how it feels.
Crazy.
But yeah.
Anyways, but yeah.
So
whatever. I have a TV show.
So yeah, I'll edit that part out because he really wants that to be known. All right, let's talk about companies that are there.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of companies. So let's name some companies that were there.
Merca.
Merca didn't have a booth.
They
but
did not.
They were
They were
there,
there.
in the background.
Really?
Fuji Spray was there. They had a booth. Rockler, Woodcraft,
Solstop,
Solstop had a booth.
Firm Grip,
Firm Grip had a booth. Total Boat,
Rust-Oleum.
Rust-Oleum. Oh shoot. Wagner Moisture Meter.
B&H Photography.
B&H Photography.
I'm trying to think.
Home Depot. They're the golden sponsor.
Yeah.
So-
Kutzall.
Kutzall had a booth. There were some people doing some carving.
I know. I really want to get into that.
And
That's looking at stuff.
was there one more? Wall Control.
Yeah.
Should know that. So that was kind of the
Trouble.
sponsorships. So a little bit of everything, but not a lot of everything. I feel like for the amount of people there, I think there was 400 or 500 people. There should have been a lot more vendors. I wish there was a lot more vendors. They break off into a lot of time.
Well, also you got to understand, like the ticket prices for vendors.
Oh yeah, it's way more
ridiculous.
expensive. Right, but we're the people using their product and showing it off.
That's true.
I wish there was more vendors. I wish there was more people to talk to, because there was a lot of time built in for like meet the vendors, but you could literally do that in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And when, okay, you're trying to sell yourself to get free stuff or work with them or something like that. I mean, that's the case. Everybody's gonna come in here and you're gonna watch this and you're gonna be like, Ben's a jerk for saying it, but like, you want free stuff.
Yeah.
There's something amazing about that. Yeah, I want free stuff, sure.
I didn't have any leverage for free stuff, so like I met vendors, but it wasn't really to get free stuff. It was just kind of.
I think everyone can have a leverage for you have value somewhere, and you just have to figure out what that is and how to sell that. That's a class in itself that I'm not giving. So, but just know you have value to someone.
To be honest, like I went to Workbench Con, talked with these vendors, and like talked with a bunch of other social media influencers, right? And I've been doing a lot more stories and tagging the companies and just kind of, it's almost not, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but jokingly just being like very like noticeable, like
you have to be shameless.
Tag it. Yeah,
I mean,
like
if
shameless
you're gonna
plugs.
do it,
Like it's just straight shameless plugs.
There's something to be said
just
when you just become
but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not making fun of anybody, and I'm not, trying to be a jerk, but it's just for fun.
There's something to be said when you become a straight ad, like your feed is straight ads, like here's a glove, and here's another day when I'm using a glove. Okay, here's me driving in my car using a glove.
Yeah.
Like you can't, how many gloves do you need? Okay. So there's not that, but everybody wants to work with a company. It's a cool thing.
Well,
it's a dream.
cool
If you're
thing.
going there, you specifically want to do that because that's kind of what the meetup is for.
Well, and as a production shop, like if you can, for me, it's not can I get free stuff. For me, it's how can we benefit each other? Like how can I use your product and then you share my company using your product? Because that's free marketing for both of us.
Well, that's the nicer way of me saying,
So-
how can I get free stuff?
Oh, okay.
That's the jargon.
but I have a-
like everybody's initial thought is, ooh, I want something for free.
Well,
I mean, that's the case.
I'm trying to promote a brand.
Right.
Not, you don't really have, like, there's no reason for you to.
Yeah, I don't. So, okay, so making our money back, I'm looking at this whole thing as making my money, like was my money invested well?
Yeah.
And let's say up to this point, probably not for me. Just meeting people and stuff, which doesn't if I met you, I'm not discounting the value of that relationship when I saw you. That's not, but just investing the time away,
Unfriended.
and then the money that you spent to get there and all that. Probably not a monetary investment back, but Cody and I both had special situations. So Merca approached you. They came out of the blue. Tell a little bit about this. May happen. This is again another thing of you never know who you're sitting by or talking with.
Yeah, so they went to the Fuji spray thing, and I don't have a Fuji sprayer, but you do.
I do.
And I have a shop, so he just lets me use it, but I'm not very good at it, so I went to the thing. And while we were in there, Merca was the representatives for them were in the class as well. I sprayed and then they come and approach me. And by the way, like if you go to this thing, wear your shirt. So because we were in the Fuji class, I sprayed. I was kind of setting off, watching everybody else spray, just kind of trying to learn something. And the representatives from Merca came up to me, and I guess while we were there, they were checking everybody's feed, just kind of seeing.
They're looking you up by your shirt.
Yes, by your shirt,
Straight up.
basically.
Yeah. And to this, really to cut in real quick, like I kind of was like asking people, should I wear my shirt every single day? That's kind of insane. Not the literal same shirt, but my brand on my shirt. And yes, the answer is yes. Like people knew me because I was wearing my shirt. I knew people because they were wearing their shirt.
Yeah.
It makes it way easier to know who you're talking to and to look up somebody's feed.
Yeah.
You know, like when you meet somebody in real life,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, they leave, and then you look up their Facebook feed to see who they really are. That's kind of what's happening, and that's what happened with you with this brand.
Yeah, that's what happened with me. And so they came and approached me, and we were just talking. They saw that I use a lot of Festool products. They asked if I'd ever heard of them. I had, but hadn't, I guess.
I've seen them once, but I've never seen them in real life. We live in Arkansas where there is nothing around.
There's
nothing
no
around.
Woodcraft. There's no specialty stores.
Nothing.
And so,
Right.
because I have to order all of our stuff. And they asked if I'd ever heard of them. I was like, sorry, no. I felt bad. I really did. And so they were like, well, that's fine. So they were telling me who they were. And so I guess Mirka actually makes the abrasives for Festool, but they're coming out with their own line of things. Well, they already have their own line of stuff. And so gave me some sandpaper to try out, and I've been talking with them about, they're also coming out with a line of tools. And we've kind of just been in conversation about, for organic, since there is nothing here, possibly being a dealer and distributor for Mirka, which benefits me and benefits them. And so it was just one of those very cool moments of, I'm there with probably the least amount of followers, and I was approached because I am a production shop, and there's a way that I can be of value to a brand.
Right, you have
And so,
value.
yeah.
Even where you live may be value. Since we have
Yes.
nothing else around here, you can increase the value of your business here because you can sell somebody's products out of your shop.
Yes.
So you're gonna get a sander and a vacuum, right? Or theoretically.
Well, I don't know. We were there. They had mentioned it. We haven't talked about that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, theoretically-
I'm still talking about like, how do I become a dealer?
Right.
How do I sell the sander?
Right.
Yeah.
So that will pay off in its own.
Yes.
If it can. They kind of talked about giving him a sander and a vac, so we'll see. If that happens, that has paid for its ticket in itself.
Well, yeah, if that happens, that's
For
paid
sure.
for his ticket, and the fact that I can do a well done YouTube review and then send it to them, and hopefully they use it on
Right.
their channels.
It's just
And then-
return on return
and
on
then
return.
my brand is then extended even further.
Right.
So it's a return on. Yeah, there are ways to make it back.
Yes.
You just kind of have to,
You have to think about how to do that. For me, if you've been following along on my YouTube channel or my Instagram, I moved my shop vac. I took that out and I put a dust collector outside, a Harbor Freight one outside of my shop. And it does not suck. It literally is so underpowered, I barely suck up any dust.
So it does suck. It just doesn't suck.
It sucks but doesn't suck. Yes. So I really have been thinking about getting a bigger one or a different branded one. It's just something that puts out more CFM. And Rockler happened to be there, and I just went over and chatted with the lady. And I hadn't put out the video yet. I finished it, I just haven't edited it. And I went over and talked to the lady. I said, this is what I did. My thing is terrible. She didn't know who I was at all. I've never talked to them before. I was wearing a shirt. And she said, oh, that sounds interesting. Here's my card. Email me when we go, after the thing. I emailed her, put my links down in the bottom of the email saying, hey, remember me? You said to email, talk. And she said, sounds great. We'll send you whichever one you need. Send me an item number and we'll send it out. So theoretically, when I get that, which if it really goes through, but from what I can tell from the email it will, I will have made my money back in a dust collector.
Yeah,
So-
and then you do a video.
and I do a video on that.
And
People
then
watch it. I make some income from that. And then I don't know if you can be an affiliate with Rockler, but if you can't, I think they might have just actually removed that. But if you can, I'll make sure to sign up for that and kind of direct people to that. So there is a money making from it, but you just have to be creative. And I wish that this would have been a class a little bit more, or maybe the one I didn't take, the micro influencers may have spoken about that. That was one, there's kind of, the classes are sporadic and you have to choose. And if you don't choose the right one,
it's kind of a hard
you're too late
choice
for
sometimes.
others. Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, I picked this one.
Yeah.
It's like,
And then you kind of feel bad for leaving the class.
Yeah,
And then going to another one. But
Yeah.
do it. It's your time.
Yeah,
When you're
it's your
there,
ticket.
do whatever you need to
And you
do
don't have to
maximize it.
pre-register for the classes. That was the great thing about it. Like you said, I walked out of 2 of them.
Right.
And it wasn't because I thought they were a bad class. I just knew they didn't pertain
They
to me.
didn't pertain to you.
And that there was other classes going on in that time
Exactly.
that might pertain to me.
And
So
I walked out of Donnie's class because it did not pertain to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
It never will. I don't want to sell a $70,000 table. I'll leave that up to you.
dream of it.
So I left. Ironically, when the classes are going on, the people at the booths of all of the companies are standing around doing nothing. So it is the
So-
prime time to go and talk to them. While it's actually time to meet them,
Yeah.
when they bake it in, everyone's around them.
Yeah.
But when the classes are going on, skip the classes, go talk to the people because you have them one-on-one.
Yeah, I did
for
that.
like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So that's just a heads up if it works next year if you go. There you go. All right, let's talk about the swag. You go and you get swag, and the swag changes every year. So what swag did you get? Like they give you a bag when you walk in.
Yeah, so we got I don't remember. The only thing I really remember from it is the glue brush and the pony clamps.
Yeah, there was a clamp and
Because
a
those are
glue
the
brush.
things I've already used since
Right.
I've been back.
Um,
There's something in there for the paint.
what would you say the value of the things in there? Where maybe $50, max $100. So if you're thinking you're gonna make your money back on swag, no, that's not gonna happen. Although Pony did have a class about their clamps, and then at the end they said take everything because we can't ship it back.
Can't ship it back. Yeah.
So chat up with the vendors there and say, like, we drove in, although we kind of didn't really do this, but if there were things that they can't fly back, like epoxy, you can't put it on a plane.
But I sell epoxy, so.
Right, I don't, but I'm just saying, if you're there and you
Wise
drove,
bond.
go up to everybody and say, I drove. When the thing is over, I will take whatever you can't take back.
Yeah.
So you may make it back swag-wise there.
So one of the things when we were talking about ROI or return on investment, you got to think about, well, there's a lot of swag, I guess, from the vendors, but also like what are you going to take and give out to people so they remember you? And there was a lot of sticker exchanges, which
Make sure you have stickers. Gotta have stickers.
I only had what was in my truck.
Like 4?
So there was 8. There was 8 of them.
I had a pocket full of stickers the whole time, well, most days, and try to give out what I
And
could.
anyways, business cards, that was another thing. So you can give out business cards. And also like I gave out postcards, like these postcards that were made from our marketing team at Deluxe. And we were giving them out to vendors, and they were kind of a huge hit too. And then I had a few hats that I had brought with me, and I gave one to Donnie from Donnie's Designs by Donnie, and he has wore it every day in his shop, in his videos, since we've gotten back from Workbench Con, and I'm loving it.
Boosting followers. So if you're looking for just
Boosting,
followers, friend people, give them your swag, and they're gonna wear it later on. Like
and like
got
that-
this 2 Moose shirt,
that was
and now
crazy.
I'm wearing it today.
Yeah.
So follow 2 Moose if you're not.
And
So,
that was the craziest thing, because that wasn't the purpose.
That wasn't planned.
Yeah, it was just like
organically happened.
Yeah,
Right.
We kind of befriended and talked, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy a hat. So I gave him a hat, and then he's been wearing it every day, and it's just been like a lot of people just rolling in.
Yeah.
So you have no idea who I am.
So after every day, it kind of stops at about 5 or 6. Had to find your own dinner. So it's kind of like, hey, you want to go to dinner? Hey, you want to go to dinner? You find that group and you go. Although the last day,
We had a large.
we
group.
found people to go with, and the people that went with us found people to go with, and they found people to go with. So you end up going to a restaurant with 50 people, which doesn't work. What's the point? You're not going to sit around a 50-person table, or you'd be waiting forever for a table.
But it was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
You know?
It's great. That's intimate meeting time is when you're eating with people, for sure.
Yeah, and just inviting people to go with you.
Yeah.
It's just a big,
Invite anyone and everyone, because
Yeah, you
we
never
would
know.
have not met the people we did if it wasn't just like, hey, can I go with you? Or invite yourself. That's okay.
Yeah, and
So-
because we drove, and so it was like, hey, you ride with us or whatever.
Right.
So-
Yeah. We did go a day early, so it starts on a Thursday evening. We left Wednesday morning and got there Wednesday afternoon because there was a meetup at Ox in the Shop. Drew's house and then a wall control meetup.
Yeah.
We found out in Atlanta, 30 minutes is like a 2-hour drive during traffic. So we didn't end up going to the wall control one because we were way too late.
Way late.
So I think that was a day too much for me.
I mean, yeah, I think if something's got it. So it's just horrible timing for us because it's like we leave really, really early on a Thursday and get there. It starts and we're tired,
Right.
You know, or we, you know, get there a day early. But we did go to the aquarium.
We did go to the aquarium.
So that was pretty cool.
Atlanta had an aquarium.
Although
yeah,
it was just me and you. And that, when I go to the aquarium and stuff like that, it like really made me miss my kids.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, well, crap, I don't even want to be here now.
Yeah, we both have kids, so there was I really wish my kids could be here during
Yeah.
this.
The whole time I was there, like in the back of my head, it's Baby Shark.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, you were singing it. So
Oh, it was? Well,
Yeah.
I was probably thinking it.
yeah. So and we were right by the Atlanta Braves stadium. We walked over there and we ate in that kind of area too. So yeah, so that's cool.
There is cool stuff to do around there. And I think they're wanting to do it in Atlanta every year because Home Depot's headquarters is
Home
right
Depot
there.
headquarters that, so they're gonna do it in Atlanta every year. I'd be way surprised if it was not. They
Yeah.
also do another conference called Haven. I think they literally have written descriptions of these, and the Haven conference is for women, and the Workbench Con is the manly version of the Haven. I saw something that was actually written down that way.
So they did is it just for women? I thought it was just
It's
for
not
like
just
bloggers.
for women.
and-
It's a blogger conference, but
Yeah.
99% of the people that go are women.
Well, it's because women know how to write.
I guess
I'm
so.
illiterate.
Yes, I have to have my wife correct all my spelling and grammar.
Ditto.
But this conference is not for women. Or not for men. There are definitely a lot of women. So
Yes.
men, women, whatever. There are some kids. Some parents brought their children.
Yeah.
So you can bring your
yeah.
kids. I wouldn't want to do that. That would be crazy. It was crazy.
My kids would not help me.
Yeah. So, other than that, I mean, meeting some pretty famous people in my mind was pretty cool. Getting to just talk to them like they are humans, approach them like they are humans.
Yeah.
I think some people did that to me to say, you don't know me, but you know, I've helped them out with CNC or something. So we're all just some dude in a shop going and meeting other people. So don't think anybody's untouchable. Approach them. Jimmy DiResta literally said, "We're here. Come find us. Come talk to us."
Yeah.
And that's really how they are
Yeah.
when he met them. So
Cool.
So I guess in the end, was it worth it for you to go? Would you be going again?
Yeah. I don't know if I'd go again. I think it was worth it for me to
Worth
go.
it at least once.
At least once.
At least
you know,
once.
I met all these people. If I, start to miss their face, I might go again.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. Like, I don't know.
Was the return on investment there for you?
For me, I'm a relationships person, so I think the relationships gained were definitely worth it. But again, it goes to like pretty much the same people go every year. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like
It is
roughly.
getting a little bigger, but yeah, I mean, and
So-
if you're coming in the third year, these people have already had 2 years of a relationship.
Yeah.
So that's where the high schoolness kind of felt to me. Like, well, you guys already know each other. I'm the outside guy.
Yeah.
Even though we talk on Instagram or whatever a lot. So yeah, I do see that for sure.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I don't know. So I think the relationships made and friendships made are kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. For me, I'm probably not going to go again. That'll probably be my last time.
Yeah.
I am not the kind of guy that really likes to travel. I don't really travel. I'm a homebody, I guess.
Yeah.
I love meeting all the people and that was worth it for sure. I look back on it, I'm really glad I did it, but I won't be going a second time unless something drastically changes. The friendships and the conversations had with the people on the other end of the phone are definitely worthwhile.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed the experience.
all right. Well, I'm Ben from Myers Woodshop.
Cody from Organic.
And we hope that helped you decide if conferences like this, especially Workbench Con, is something for you. If we saw you there, really good to say hi. Really glad. Make sure to keep up with us. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Myers Woodshop. And you can find Cody.
We're at Organic Woodwork. And you can also find both of us if you want to hear our voices on our podcast, The Build Guild
Absolutely.
Podcast.
If you have any questions that I haven't answered, and Cody hasn't answered, please leave those in the comments down below. We will try to answer every single one, and maybe we'll answer that in our podcast because I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit in the upcoming episode. So thanks for watching. We'll see y'all later.
Ciao.
Camera and knock it down. Watch out! Whoa. It's actually gonna balance itself because you gave it those outriggers. They'll start to touch the ground. Very good. Come on, baby, come on. All right, don't forget, we're gonna try and knock the camera down. Oh, here comes cameraman.
And you know, and maybe next time we go, we get 2 beds.
Yeah. You want to get?
We have to edit that out.
No, head to toe next time.
Head to toe. Head to toe. The bangs are set up perfect in the shot.
Not that anyone will watch this for that.
Whatever. We're tagging them in it, right, when you post it. Bang. Bang, brought to you by Star Wars and Mandalorian. I mean, that's the perfect energy drink for them. Bang, Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready, let's do it. Product placement. I'm implementing what I learned at
That's true.
WorkbenchCon.
I guess so.
This is part of it.
It's worth that money. All right. Hey guys, I'm Ben with Myers Woodshop.
Cody, organic.
And we are going to talk about why you may or may want to, let me start over. Hey guys, I'm Ben with Myers Woodshop. All right, let's start one more time.
Hold on.